Aquarius, welcome to your weekly reading for May 27th to June 3rd. This is Catherine with Oracle Intuitions, and this is your energy reading for the head, heart, environment, as well as receiving a message from Spirit. This is going to be for all Aquarius placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, as well as cross watchers. If you wish to watch, please remember that these are general readings, so they may not resonate with everyone because we are all individuals. However, if this reading does resonate with you, please, it would be greatly appreciated if you click subscribe and also click like on the video, as it really does help my channel to grow. So let's get, and also, if you would like a personal reading, you can check out my website at oracleintuitions.com, and that's where you can book a live one-on-one reading with me through video chat or through a video call. So let's get into it and let's see what's happening for our Aquariuses. We're going to be starting off with the energy of the mind. So this is going to be things that we may be focusing in on, or things within our external environment that are drawing our focus throughout the week. First card coming in is we have flying. Second card coming in is we have spark. And third, sad embrace. Okay, so Aquarius, I do feel that there is some energy here. This could possibly be a past energy, not so much a future energy, especially with the sad embrace. I do feel that you're going through, or you have gone through, some sort of disappointment. Now, this could be within your relationships, love life. It could have to do with jobs. It could really be within any aspect that you may be dealing with currently, or again, in the past. But what I'm really getting here is that you're starting to release this energy. Okay, I do feel it lingering, however. So this even might be subconscious energy that's still coming through. And what I mean by that is sometimes we're in this place of, I'm really working to let this go. I'm really working to release this. I'm really working to, move on. And this is being shown with that flying especially, okay? Because you're really in this place of allowing yourself to starting to see the bright side of things, or moving forward. I mean, this to me, when I'm looking at this almost looks like a unicorn, flying up, right? We have the spark. So you're finding things that spark a new interest for you, or maybe perhaps, putting your attention toward things that you did have a spark towards in the past. Okay, and this could be hobbies. Again, it could be work or career, maybe even perhaps for some of you, a whole new relationship. Okay, I do feel this energy of that sad embrace though hanging on. All right, and again, it doesn't mean that you're fully focused on it, or that it's taking over your life or anything like that. It just feels, what I'm actually looking at this, and what I'm getting is like I'm going throughout my life, I'm finding new things, I'm heading in new directions, whatever it is, I'm bringing some sense of light and happiness into my life. But every once in a while, that sadness just sort of creeps up. Okay, it just, it may just sort of hit us at that, it usually hits us at that inappropriate time of our day, right? Like it's never, I've got the time to be sad right now. It usually hits us when we're, I know for me, it'll hit me when I'm in a grocery store, something like this, or I'm trying to get other things done, or I have other things to do. And it's like that, just that bit of sad embrace that comes through. And it may be something that, we tend to focus in on a little bit, or maybe something that, we have to kind of stop and pause, take those deep breaths, work our way through. All right, so let's get some clarification and see what's happening. Let's take a look at that flying. Yeah, look at this. I do feel like what's happening here is we're closing off cycles, okay? And this could definitely be closing off that cycle of that sad embrace. And again, moving forward, because the world really talks about, not only is it closing off old cycles or old things that are no longer necessary, but it allows us to look at things, other things, perhaps in it's like a new beginning. Okay, I'm closing off this cycle and I'm starting something new. I'm starting to embrace a sense of happiness, so that sense of flying forward, moving forward, instead of just focusing in on this. So this cycle is starting to close out. I mean, there's probably going to be, some tough or tense moments that are coming through, but they're not in that place that they're our sole focus, or they're not in that place where, it's threatening the entire day. Let's put it that way. Okay, let's see what else we have. Yeah, look at this. We have that King of Cups coming through, and we also, I feel like for some of you, you're really working to reach this sense of happiness. you know, it's interesting because we have this King of Cups coming through, right? And this is somebody about opening up their heart energy. So I do feel that you may have had to, you know, close off a cycle here. And again, this could have been a relationship. It could have been, you know, with whatever aspect in your life. But it almost feels as though you're trying to move forward. You're really in this place now where I'm allowing my heart energy to open. I'm allowing myself to receive the, you know, the good, the new, the positive. And I do feel that it's coming through. Okay. And especially when we have the spark card coming in here, because with this spark, this is, again, it's like that spark of energy. It's like spark of excitement. It's that spark of happiness, that spark of joy. And we're seeing that, and we're starting to allow ourselves, even if it's just little bits at a time, right? One thing at a time that's coming through. It allows us to really take a look at it, and it allows us to draw our focus towards that instead of whatever it was that sort of hit us and put us in this place of despair. Let's actually clarify that King of Cups. So what does that King of Cups have to do with? Yeah, some sort of devil energy was perhaps there. We have this destiny, and we've also got, you know, this we have the Ten of Cups coming through. So what I'm getting here is I do feel it for some of you. The devil doesn't always have to be, you know, a purely negative card, right? I mean, if, you know, for some it could be that we're just trying to find a new focus. We're releasing the chains of again, the past, especially because we have this destiny and this Ten of Cups coming through. So it really feels like we're trying to remove that focus. We may have been chained to that sad, you know, event or whatever it was. But we're trying to break through those chains now. So we're heading towards a new destiny, and one of contentment, one of happiness, one of fulfillment. Okay, and again, it may even be a new relationship. It could be anything. But let's take a look at that spark and see what's happening. Yeah, look at this. We have that Ace of Wands coming through. So right there, it tells me that this is, you know, completely about something new. And again, it could be just, you know, new creativity. Maybe you found a new hobby. Maybe you just joined a pottery class. I mean, it doesn't need to be some big, you know, electrifying event. But you're getting these little sparks coming through, and you're getting this motivation to move forward and, you know, find something that is enticing you. Finding something that is removing, again, it's like day by day, you know, the sadness is disappearing or the despair is disappearing. I'm spending more of my time throughout the day focused in on the happiness than I'm focused in on this. Page of Cups coming through. Yeah, like, again, that heart energy opening up, that heart energy. For some of you, this definitely could be a new relationship. But we also have this Queen of Swords coming through here. So what this is actually showing me too, excuse me, I just have to cough. I have allergies, especially around this time of day or this time of year. So, but what this is showing me is that as you're going through and you're finding these new sparks, these new things to possibly pay attention to, or this new motivation, you're also setting some boundaries. Okay, when I'm looking at this Queen of Swords, she you know, she really sets up her boundaries. She comes from a place of honesty, but she really comes from honoring herself, especially. Okay, she honors herself because she's very truthful. She doesn't deal with, you know, things or people that are, you know, in a negative place. Like, she just doesn't have the time for nonsense or somebody's gibberish or somebody's garbage. So, you know, if somebody's trying to project that onto her, you know, she basically, I kind of joke with the Queen of Swords sometimes because she reminds me of, let's put her in a much prettier way of and she very much is that, you know, Aquarius energy too, right? But she kind of reminds me of the queen from Alice in Wonderland, off with their heads. And that kind of represents, to me, that Queen of Swords energy, right? She just doesn't deal with anything. You know, you screw up, she, you know, she has tolerance, she might have compassion, but you keep screwing up, you keep coming back with bullshit energy, she's going to just... No, let's squash this nonsense, right? She's going to be very honest. She's going to be very upfront. And this is really what I'm getting here. So as she's going through this process, she's learning more things about herself. And again, her own boundaries, her own self-worth, her own, the things that nourish her. and not aren't always nourishing those around her. Okay, maybe before this could have led to that sad embrace. Maybe she was nourishing too many things, you know, that really didn't belong to her, or that weren't her responsibility, or that were, you know, again, maybe perhaps putting more towards a relationship. Or this could have even been an event that brought about some sort of sad embrace, the you know, the possibility of losing somebody in a death, or maybe perhaps, you know, just dealing with external energies, right? But she is trying to put those boundaries up, or basically she's really allowing the boundaries, even if it's not, sorry, there's some kid outside that's having a really good time there. Even if it's not the boundaries around other people, it may be the fact that she's putting those boundaries to protect her own energy. So let's actually clarify that Queen of Swords. Yeah, she's going towards her own abundance. She's thinking about her own financial future. She's thinking about her own new beginnings, her own, you know, new, like her new path forward. And this is contentment. And it's interesting here because I really do feel like some sort of relationship, or at least she's, you know, if somebody's not coming towards her at this moment, I do feel, and this doesn't need to be her. This is, I'm just using, you know, her as a general pronoun. This could be, you know, masculine, feminine. There is really no, you know, gender within the tarot. But basically what I'm getting here is that there is this energy for Aquarius that, you know, contentment, happiness, 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. I mean, this is like the marriage card. This is the contentment card. Both of these represent happy family life. So this is what she's starting to focus on. So for some of you, you know, you may have actually left a relationship or walked away, or maybe perhaps somebody else did, and it left in this place of sadness. But you're also recognizing the fact that maybe perhaps, you know, your destiny is including something that is going to have more fulfillment, okay? Or at least, you know, allowing more fulfillment to come through, especially with that King of Cups. You're really opening up that heart energy. Now, you might be at the beginning of this, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't mean that you need to, you know, swing open the doors and say, okay, you know, I'm ready for whatever you can bring me, because of the fact that that Queen of Swords is here, right? Again, those boundaries being up. But with the Page of Cups coming through, there's that spark. There's that spark. Okay, you know, let's see what's out there. Let's see what, you know, happiness can bring me. Maybe I'll test the waters a little bit. But I do feel also, too, is what it's kind of showing me here, is that there may be somebody coming forward that is of a stronger partnership in some way, all right? Or a stronger, you know, sense of security, a stronger sense of contentment, somebody who's going to be honest and upfront. So let's actually clarify this sad embrace, and let's just get some energy here. Yeah, we have that Page of Pentacles. We have the Justice card. And we have the Death card. So this allowed her to really transition, okay? Even though this sad embrace at the possible time may have been very devastating, it might have been very hurtful, it also opened up a new path, okay? And it doesn't mean that, you know, things can't be resolved, or maybe, you know, there might even be a reconciliation at some point, but it's not going to be a reconciliation or a change of energy from the way it was. Meaning that it's not going to go back to how it was, is what I'm trying to say. There's going to be a complete transformation, and that's the only thing that she will accept, especially if this does have to do with a relationship, you know, that maybe perhaps she wouldn't mind entertaining again or bringing back again, but it's not going to be the same way. It has to be a transformation. But I do feel for many that it may be just bringing about something new, or even just, again, focusing in on herself and allowing this personal transformation to form. All right, because it is bringing her to that sense of contentment and that sense of happiness. So let's take a look at relationships and see what's coming in. Let's take a look at our heart energy, heart environment, relationships, all that good stuff. So I did pre-shuffle before the video. The reason I do pre-shuffle these particular cards is because, as you can see, this deck is quite huge, and it's actually quite awkward for me to shuffle otherwise. So I do like to shuffle, however, also on camera for the viewers. All right. Let's get into it. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, we have the roads, crossroads, journey, multiple choice. So I do feel that, for some, there may be some options to weigh. Okay. Maybe it might even have to be, do I want to stay or do I want to go? All right. You might be in a matter of crossroads towards either a new person or maybe perhaps a past or current relationship in some way. It feels like you have multiple choices. So this could be multiple people and again, multiple options as to your next, step forward. I'm actually really getting here though too. I'm really getting in here that for some of you, even though it talks about the journey, you're okay with the journey at this point. Like basically meaning that you're allowing yourself to go through that transition, you're allowing yourself to head to happiness, but you're not in this place of it has to be this and it has to be that and, like setting a course. You're kind of in this place of enjoying the journey. So let's say somebody presents themselves. You're not in a place to, rush into a relationship or rush into the next step. It's like, let's enjoy the journey. I want to actually, maybe perhaps get to know this person or get to know a person again or make them prove themselves or have them prove themselves, whatever it is. But you're not in a place of rushing. It kind of feels like this slow journey into happiness and contentment. Let's see what else is coming through. We have the fish, resources, finances. Yeah, you might be even just paying attention to other things in your life. And again, as I spoke about before, it might be a new career. Maybe you're looking into hobbies. Maybe you're looking into just, a side gig for yourself that could be financially beneficial for you. I'm kind of just getting that you're enjoying seeing what's coming through, what's happening, what the next step is. You're not in a huge hurry here. But we've got this element of fire. Expect the unexpected. So it talks about, sexy, but, maybe somebody hot-tempered, right? Larger than life. I kind of feel like for some of you, there may be, again, this person who's around, all right? Or maybe perhaps, again, it could be a past relationship in some way. But it sort of feels like, when it talks about expect the unexpected, as you're in this place of enjoying the journey, unexpected things may appear. Now, this could be at the past coming back in a new energy, right? In a more solid and connected energy. This could be even meeting somebody new. This could be, it even could be just, unexpectedly finding that you're enjoying your own self. We have the element of earth. So we've got fire, we've got earth coming through. For some of you, this could have to do with air sign or earth sign type of energy that's coming in. But I'm getting more that it, because for, sometimes the signs don't always matter, right? I'm really getting here that it has more to do with the meanings rather than the particular signs that are being presented right now. And it talks about practical, grounded, solid, dutiful, okay? Again, being in this place, it's like you want somebody who's going to be dependable. And I'm still getting that it talks about here, things are stuck, like unlikely, things are stuck. I'm kind of getting here that for some of you, what I'm receiving is that if somebody was to come through that was ungrounded, that again, this transformation that you went through, I feel like really, really changed you. It really helped you in your own personal sense of growth, right? And now you're not willing to accept if somebody was to come through that was impractical or was ungrounded, okay, or not in this place of solidarity or, being solid or stable in some sense. You're just, again, you're not accepting it. You're not in a rush. You're not in a rush to run down the aisle, perhaps, but at the same degree, you're not going to deal with somebody who's flaky or somebody who's in and out type of energy or, somebody who's whatever, right? Playing the field, that kind of nonsense. You're just not there. We have ruler of enlightenment. So this, this also Uranus is the Aquarius card again. And we do have the Fool coming in. So it's like, it does talk about, we had the Fool before, the new beginnings, okay? Taking a chance. taking a chance. And again, I do feel some individual energy here, just being in this place of enjoying yourself, just being in this place of allowing things to happen from a solid existence. So let's get some clarification and see what's going on. Clarification for our Aquarius is in regards to relationships. And it doesn't mean that you're not ready for a relationship ever. I mean, remember that we're looking into, 1 week, right? We might be looking into, possible upcoming energy or even current energy of where you are right now. But it does really feel like you guys are ready to move forward. Okay, you're ready to move forward. But again, it has to be with somebody who's recognizing your worth too. You're not going to take somebody flighty. You're not going to take somebody who's, got 10 people on the side or that kind of thing. This is a whole different ball game is what I'm getting here. All right. Yeah, look at this. We've got the 5 of Cups coming through. Again, I do feel that with that, that crossroads, right? That journey that we just went on, it does feel like there was some heartbreak in here. We've also got the Queen of Cups coming through, and we have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, like I said, you're following your own instinct. You're following your path. You're being in this place of allowing that old to wear off before you start looking for something new. Okay? The new will come, especially with that Ten of Swords here, all right? The Ten of Swords talks about endings, but it also talks about rebirth. It also talks about a new beginning towards something else. And you're not really in that rush right now. You're not in a rush. Right now, you're nurturing yourself, especially with that Queen of Cups coming through, okay? This can really talk about following your instincts, psychic energy, just following your own path, okay? Being compassionate towards others, but also being very compassionate towards yourself. Let's take a look at that fish. We have that resources. Yeah, look at this. We've got that King of Wands coming in. We have the 8 of Cups coming through. And we have the Ace of Cups coming in. Now you guys are going for what it is that's going to fill up your own cup. Okay, you're going to go for, you guys are just walking away from things that even to some degree didn't even spiritually fulfill you. Okay, if there was no fulfillment towards it, you're just letting it be for right now. You're looking at your own finances, your resources. Again, for some of you, you might be starting a new business. You might be starting a new path forward, financially in some way. And that's where you're placing your focus at this moment. We also have this element of fire. And even if, here's the thing, even if there is somebody in your life, it feels as though you're not in this place of putting all of your, I guess, to some degree, all your eggs in one basket. It doesn't mean that you're not faithful or you're not compassionate towards them, but at the same degree, you might have been in that place where you were giving too much towards them at some point. And that might have been that, element of heartbreak or that element of sadness that came in. Maybe realizing that this person wasn't also giving it to you. Now, remember, roles can be reversed, but that's kind of what I'm getting. And so because instead of focusing just on what it is that they want or what it is that they need or whatever it is, you're now focusing in on you. That element of fire. Yeah, we've got this 8 of Swords coming through. We have the 6 of Cups coming in. And we have the Chariot. Beautiful energy. 8 of Swords, I do feel like what you're doing here is you're not holding yourself back anymore. I kind of feel like this element of fire might even be you. Maybe you even have fire elements within your placements. But I'm getting here that there's a lot of... in the past, you might have held yourself back from the things that you desired, or maybe perhaps even held yourself back because of how you felt that somebody else would react to something, or maybe perhaps you were scared of, looking off or looking a little weird or whatever it is. But you know, there is this element of holding yourself back. You're not doing that anymore. You're not doing that anymore. For some of you, you might even be pursuing some sort of childhood or old passions that you had, something that brought up some sort of memories. But you know what I'm also getting here? I'm getting here that because, and especially because we had that Queen of Swords coming in, where your boundaries are coming up, you're being very honest about what it is that you're wanting and needing within a relationship. I do feel that somebody may be presenting themselves, okay? And again, it could be, you know, a current energy or somebody from the past, or maybe even that past feeling with, like, you know, when you meet somebody and you feel like you've known them forever. And I'm really getting here that you're not holding yourself back. So that basically meaning that you're not in this place of being scared to approach, or maybe even being scared of pursuing this relationship in some way. It kind of feels like you're opening up to something, okay? You're releasing that Eight of Swords and you're moving towards maybe even this hot, sexy relationship. Okay? Maybe perhaps in the past you felt that you couldn't move towards it. But now, there it is. And now you're ready to, ready to explore it in some way. But most especially if they have that same respect towards things that you're desiring, okay? And they're bringing you that element of comfort and security and, maybe possibly long-term commitment, right? Let's look at that element of earth. So we have that Six of Swords. We have the Judgment card. Yeah, and the Lovers. Again, I'm really getting here. You're not taking this lightly. You're not taking the next relationship lightly, or the next person entering, again, even if it's a past person. It's not going to be on that same level. There has to be a transition. You're not taking it lightly. You're going with what it is that you're wanting from your heart. I feel like for some of you, you kind of went with the flow on some things, simply because of the fact that maybe you thought that this would bring the relationship deeper. Maybe perhaps you didn't always say what was on your mind, or maybe perhaps, there was some lack of boundaries that you didn't stand up for, didn't particularly, put the walls up around, and that you're not there anymore. Okay, this has to be something solid. Yeah, you're not playing around. You're moving straight forward. And this, if somebody's not matching that energy, you're okay to walk away. You're okay to let it be. You're okay to end it. That's what I'm getting. We have the Uranus. Let's take a look at that. The Fool card coming through. And yeah, again, you've put a lot of thought into this. You put a lot of thought into that movement forward, into the next relationship. Again, whether it's with somebody from the past, or maybe perhaps, current or new coming through. You are not playing around. Look at that Two of Cups coming through. This is exactly what I feel. You want that partnership, but you want that ultimate partnership. You don't want that partnership that, is squirrely or weird, or not being solid. And I feel that because that energy has been embodied by you, that this is exactly what is going to be appearing. I almost feel like it's either on the threshold of coming through, or it could be possibly here together, at this time, or it's about to present itself, or it is already here, but there may be just some adjustments that need to be made. Maybe, that person just needs to recognize, like, again, you're not playing around this time. And if they want to come forward, they're going to have to do it within a solid energy. From what I'm being shown here, I do feel that. Let's look at that Two of Cups really quick. I was just going to go right into messages from Spirit, but I feel like, yeah, like somebody solid. Because you've had your guard up, because you've been in a place of being grounded within yourself. And look at this happiness. Again, I feel like somebody is around, or somebody is on the threshold of walking through, coming forward. All right? And this is all because of the work that you've done within yourself, recognizing your self-worth, recognizing what it is that you're wanting and embracing at this time. So let's get a message from Spirit and see what's See what Spirit has to say at this moment. Message from Spirit for our Aquariuses. You hear those beautiful birds outside? I was actually, sitting here the other day doing a reading, and I could hear those birds just singing away. I don't know if you guys can hear them or not. That's why I thought about using my little birds when I was doing the also, yeah, I was actually doing the how they feel about you video. And so if you do want to watch that, there is a link at the beginning of this video, but also just look in the playlists, all right? And it gives a deeper indication of how your person may be feeling about you at this time. And it's interesting because it really did sort of match what I was getting for the relationships within this reading. So let's get some messages from Spirit. We have the Whale coming through. Live as a fully conscious being. And this is exactly where I feel that you are at this time. You're really conscious about your own energy, but also what you're bringing through. All right. But you are in this place of opening up that heart energy, perhaps towards, others, the world, maybe environmentally, maybe, on a fully conscious basis. But again, you're placing a lot of focus in on you and your own desires. And it talks about be forbearing and patient. So this is what I got, is that there really was no rush towards what it was that you were seeking. And it does talk about the monkey experience, all that life has to offer. And this is exactly where I feel that you are at this point. You're in this place where I'm just not going to put up. I'm not going to put up with old energy. I'm not going to put up with old crap anymore. This is about me and my movement forward, and I want to enjoy the journey. So thank you so much for watching, Aquarius. Please, if this reading has resonated with you, please click subscribe. Please click like on the videos. It truly is appreciated, and it is a great karmic exchange. Thank you, and have a great week. Many blessings.